now, coming to you live from atop the Lavender Town Radio Tower, it's the one, the only, PUCL Podcast.
It's PUCL! PUCL! It's PUCL! PUCL! Pokemon Underground Champions League, oh yeah! PUCL! PUCL.
And welcome to the PUCL Podcast. I am your host, Trainer Thatch, here today with my spectacular co-host. We've got the wonderful, as always, fluffiest Whimsicott.
Hola.
And we've got the wonderful, as always, Lynian.
Buenos dias.
And we're here to bring you another episode of the PUCL Podcast. We are live today on Twitch and YouTube, so you can be watching this live. If you're listening to it on Monday, you're not, but that's neither here nor there. So, this is the PUCL Podcast. PUCL, of course, standing for the Pokemon Underground Champions League, a nonsensical name we came up with in 2007, where we talk everything from the video game to the trading card to everything in between. And we're just having a good time. I mean, I don't really want to ask you guys what you've been up to this week, but I will.
I mean, you can take a guess.
Yeah, I what?
3 guesses, but your first 2 don't count.
But you can guess something, Thatch.
Oh, what can I guess?
You can guess what I named my capsicid.
Jalapeno. Duh.
Yep.
there's no, like, I still have the picture. It's in my closet.
Same.
I still have it.
I have a picture of the picture.
I still have all those drawings, from that one, NAIC. So we do have it.
Awesome.
Yeah. So I mean, obviously we've been playing Scarlet and Violet. These are the new games that finally just dropped on the interwebs, or not on the interwebs, but like on your Switch.
It's been out on the interwebs for a week.
Yeah, it's been on the interwebs for more than a week, but I can tell you that much. So it's a really good time though. It's one of those times it's really good to be a Pokemon fan. There's a lot going on. Yeah. I mean, before this, I was playing TCG Live, I guess. But
I mean, this is a bit of an upgrade.
This is, yes.
As far as I'm concerned, at least.
I mean, you're probably not wrong. I'll be honest with you. You're probably not wrong. Compared to like TCG Live, it's definitely an upgrade. But it's going to be a really good time. I mean, I don't want to make the intro too long today. I mean, it's going to be short. It's going to be really good for you, Whimsicott, that way, because you always edit the segment. But
oh, that's right.
So it'll be a really good week for you, because it's going to be really bad for Echo, unfortunately.
Oh.
Echo, we love you.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Poor Echo.
Yeah, poor Echo. But this is the most exciting time to be a Pokemon fan in the Pokemon sphere, because you get to go ahead and play a new game. I love doing it with everybody. I mean, we've been streaming like the past day and a half or so, and it's been like some really good turnout, and it's been like, in terms of the community, it's been a blast just to have like a ton of people hanging out playing the game with you.
It's the best part.
Yeah, it's the best part. Like, the best part is like the first month after release, I think, every single time.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, because then you just get to play with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
You get to play with everybody, so it's definitely a blast and a good time. And I hope everybody else is having a good time with it. And if you're not, maybe this can help you. Maybe this can help you go ahead and decide whether or not you're going to buy this game, I guess. I don't know. I wouldn't call this like a proper review, but more so what we think of the game thus far. And we get to talk about things. There will be like mild spoilers, I assume.
Like, we just talked about Capsicid.
Yeah, we just talked about Capsicid. So like light spoilers for some Pokemon that are just out there in the wild, because they're Pokemon now and they officially exist, kind of. They messed up the eyes again.
Yeah, it's very weird still.
Yeah, they messed up the eyes.
Yeah, they did.
They messed up the eyes, guys. They messed up the eyes.
They did. And I'm bothered. I'm very bothered.
Yeah.
I have to say, though, my very first impression as far as the Pokemon go is...
Pokemon Go?
A small percentage is just amazing.
Yeah.
And the rest is like just there.
I feel the same way, like with, let's save it for more of the topic, but
yeah.
So it's more of a coherent thought. I have a lot of thoughts, most of them good. And in terms of game design, I think everything is good. In terms of like game execution. Maybe some things to bring up, but like,
oh gosh.
Without getting, again, like you said, too far into it, I had the comment to someone the other day. This game is for the first time in a while with Pokemon games, my complaint is all about execution and not really anything else.
Yes, I do agree with that. I have no complaints about the actual gameplay other than when you can't physically play it sometimes. But
I think I agree like 95%. I do have a complaint about like the scripting of the game, but we'll get to that later.
All right. Well, before we get too far into it then, let's go talk about the news. I guess there's news this week. We'll go. So let's go ahead and cue that epic music.
Live from the Lavender Town Radio Tower. This just in.
And welcome to the news in the news. We've got a few things to talk about. I'm not going to kick it off today. We've got the lovely Whimsicott to kick it off.
Oh, thank you. So,
yeah, I know, right?
But in case you were wondering why your friends are showing up on your little notification thing with new icons, Nintendo Online has added profile icons that you can exchange Silver My Nintendo coins for. They will change weekly on Thursday night for the next 4 weeks. I also hate them. And there are 5 weeks worth of them. I should check them out very soon because FOMO.
I believe Sigma posted a link to it on the Discord.
Yeah, I haven't really gone on the Discord a lot because I wanted to find most of the Pokemon before getting terribly spoiled for all of them.
The night is dark and full of spoilers.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. But yeah, okay. Get those Nintendo profile icons, I guess. I don't know. It's nothing that I care about too desperately much. But speaking of things I do care about desperately much, the TCG Live beta is now available worldwide. As a reminder, you don't have to migrate your account if you have an account on Pokemon TCG Online. You don't have to if you don't want to, if you just want to try out Live. They're still doing a lot of beta adjustments. I've been playing the beta for actually the past couple months because I just went on it with a VPN. And
liar.
I'm a liar. And I have actually like watched them make like real-time adjustments. So they are still actively adjusting it. So I do want everybody to know that. It's also not that fun anyway, because so there's in the new set in Silver Tempest, there's one card.
The Thatch giveth and the Thatch taketh.
Okay, well, there's like it's because there's a card that's broken on it right now, and there's always like one card that gets messed up every set, and so the last card that got messed up was Enamorous V. And nobody played it anyway, so it didn't matter. But the one that's broken this time is in like every not Lugia deck.
Oh, okay. No.
Yeah, is such a good card, but it's broken, and so it's like the only thing anybody's playing right now is Lugia. So if you just want to play Lugia mirrors, go at it. You can go play Pokemon TCG Live.
Fun.
The reason that this happens, by the way, is because there are so when you actually play TCG Live, they give you like half a free deck every set, essentially. And then you just ladder for it, and if you finish the battle pass, you'll end up having all the cards to like essentially make a tier 1 deck, which is kind of insane. And so this season right now, they're giving away Lugia, and they're also giving away Regidrago. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff and you want to get into TCG, this is actually very accessible for new players, more so than TCGO. So I definitely recommend it. The mobile app will also drain your battery, so don't play it.
Okay.
I do, but I also think it's horrible because they won't let you play in portrait mode. You have to play vertically.
What?
Yeah, you have to play vertically, and when you draw your first opening hand of 7 cards, you have to like scroll back and forth to be able to see your whole hand.
That is horrible.
It's awful. I absolutely hate it, but it's a necessary evil for me to get good. Unfortunately.
That's commitment right there.
Yeah, I deal with horrible UI so that I can go ahead and I can be the very best like everyone else ever was. My goal is to go to Arlington and just get points, just any number of points. Give me 30 championship points, and I will be happy. I'll say mission accomplished.
I believe in you.
I don't, but I'm hoping.
Well, one of us does.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So that's enough about TCG. Let's move on to Pokemon Go. We'll do this for Lynian.
Pokemon Go. I guess Scarlet and Violet uniforms are available. That's cool.
Yeah.
It's given us some special dates to look forward to because they know that they're bread and buttered when Pokemon is out.
Yes.
It's got to be really hard to have your successful VR game die at least once a year.
Man, okay, if you think about like the past like year though, like 3 games. Like you had BDSP, you had PLA, and then now Scarlet and Violet.
This is why I led with at least. December 17th and 18th will be Community Days featuring Pokemon in the past 2 years. January 7th is January's Community Day, and special events are said to be slated for the 3rd, 11th, 10th, and 11th, and the 24th. I have no idea what could possibly cause them to schedule something over Christmas Eve and Christmas. I mean, like, it is those things, but also why?
Because many people will be home. And maybe, I don't know, kids will get cell phones on Christmas, which
yes,
but
no, that's true though. No, that's actually true. That does happen. Like something with the
that
youth.
Part, sure. I just don't understand it. So the kids must be wrong.
Yes.
Well, I mean, my sister and her boyfriend do play a little bit. So I imagine maybe at Christmas you see the family and you want to trade Pokemon, and so you open the game and, there's an event. I'm going to play a little more than I would have otherwise,
No, I agree with this. No, because I would definitely do that. Like during Christmas, I'll play a little bit more just because, like, what else are you going to do? You're seeing family. Maybe you don't want to talk to your family, so you play Pokemon Go. And
I like how I had the wholesome positive idea about it and you were like, well.
I'm only speaking from semi-personal experience, but that's a completely different story. Like, I definitely have some minor, like, I love my family, but sometimes they're a little much. So you play Pokemon Go.
I guess, well, I won't go into too personal stuff. Let's keep going with the news.
Please don't.
Yeah, all right. So the next part of the show is Puckle's Poke Prediction. Will Scarlet and Violet be successful enough launch weekend for TPCI or Nintendo to put out a statement bragging about how many units have been sold within the next couple of weeks? Like they did about Arceus. And I think the answer is yes. They already have. Haven't they already bragged that like this is the most pre-ordered video game like
no,
ever?
They didn't. Other people who had access to sales figures bragged for them. Which is honestly a bigger flex.
Yes.
I initially read this question slightly different.
I want to know how you read it.
So I thought it was about how many Switch console units they were going to sell alongside the game. And I was about to say, that's not exactly a compliment if people feel that they have to update to the OLED in order to be able to run the freaking game.
It doesn't help, by the way.
Yeah, it doesn't help. I'm going to be honest with you.
The only reason I'm not out there buying a Switch OLED right now is that you guys told me that it doesn't help.
It's not an issue. We can talk about it during the topic. There's actually an explanation from a lot of people who understand the code much better than I. And
I think
there are multiple problems. But
yes, there's one that does a lot of the heavy lifting for explaining what's going on.
Okay, because one thing I've noticed is that there's like, have you ever noticed the little Pokeball asset that shows up in some cutscenes or when you're moving around?
Yes.
Like, that is not a wholly finished and polished game. Like, forget like the camera clipping through the ground. Fine, the camera's clipping through the ground. But there's a placeholder asset that's just showing up in scenes. There's something wrong there.
All right, well, we'll talk about it later.
Yeah, we will.
So before we get there, we do have to go to Puckle's Poke Quiz, where I'm going to quiz your co-hosts on their insane Pokemon knowledge. So let's kick it on over to that.
Hello and welcome to the Poke Quiz, the part of the show where we quiz your co-hosts on their insane Pokemon knowledge. I'm Professor Snag with the rules. The co-hosts are working together as a team to answer 5 Pokemon-themed trivia questions that you, the listeners, have submitted on the Discord server. Each question is worth 1 point, with Pokedex and multiple answer questions worth more, for a total of 7 points. The hosts can use a free hint at any time. If they get all the answers correct without using the hint, they can cash it in for an 8th point.
And welcome to Pokel's Poke Quiz. Thank you for that introduction. Our first question today is going to come to you from Bird Trainer Faye. We're going to go ahead. Believe it or not, lots of Levitate mons are Psychic types. How many Psychic type Pokemon have this ability? Megas included. I am going to give you a plus or minus 2 on this.
Okay.
9 come to mind immediately, because we've got Lake Trio, Cresselia, Solrock Lunatone, Baltoy, Claydol. Oh, 8 come to mind immediately, and I miscounted.
Well, Latios and Latias and Megalatias, do they count separately?
I would assume each of them count, but not the forms as other
Okay,
Pokemon.
so that's 10, right?
That's 10.
Okay. Okay, so no new Pokemon, so no need to talk about those.
I haven't even encountered anything with Levitate, much less a Psychic type.
I saw a Psychic type that doesn't have Levitate, but it could be another ability that it conceivably has, given the Pokédex entry. So, whatever. I'm going through it in my... So those don't...
Oh, Bronzor, Bronzong.
Right? That's 12. How about, do LGM and BHM have Levitate?
No.
Okay.
Nope. I know that one factually.
I'm
Because it would
just...
make them better than they are.
Yeah. It's just that a lot of them do float, even if they don't have the ability, and it confuses me a lot.
Like Musharna and... Muna, but they don't have it. How many are we up to?
We are at 12.
Count. And what's our plus or minus?
2. Do you want to answer 14?
Yes.
Or give us another, 10 seconds to see if we remember anything else?
I'm tapped. I was up till 1 a.m. playing a video game.
Same, but 2 a.m.
Oh, look at us. Just the models of restraint.
Yeah.
I had to get up at 7 a.m. for this.
Okay. Well, I got up at 7 to feed the cats. But then I did have time to take a nap in between, because time zones. So
I'm going to need an answer here, guys.
Yeah,
okay, let's go with 14.
We gave you our answer. We're waffling.
14? 14 is unfortunately out of the range. The answer is 17. So you have the Lake Trio, Azelf, Mesprit, Uxie, Bronzong, Bronzor.
Oh, I just remembered 2 of them. Chingling and Chimecho.
Chingling and Chimecho. Claydol and Baltoy. Latias, Megalatias, Latios, Megalodios, Cresselia, Lunatone, Solrock, and Unknown.
Wait, are you counting the Megas separately?
Yes.
Because we didn't.
No.
Why would you not count them separately? They're different Pokemon. You answered 14. You got it wrong. I'm not giving you the point. Moving on.
No, that's fine.
Well, even if we...
The Thatch giveth and the Thatch taketh
the range
away.
was 2 when we were...
We would have gotten it if we had counted them.
It's fine. I don't...
It's fine.
All right. Okay, so I'm going to ask you a Pokemon Conquest question.
Nope.
For real?
This is from Batista. Wait, have you guys never played Pokemon Conquest?
No.
I got the when you gave me
Moving
that
on.
copy, my 3DS was immediately stolen,
Moving
so
on.
I did not get very far.
Okay. You might know this if you've played the main story part, not any of the other parts.
I've never played a single second of it.
Okay, well, moving on then. We'll do the other question that I have from Elise Rococo. While many Pokemon had abilities change between generations 4 or 5 and 6, which Pokemon changed abilities between Pokemon Black and White to Pokemon Black and White 2?
Oh.
This is a very fair question that I did not
I actually knew the answer to this.
Basculin.
Oh, yes, actually, I did know this.
Yeah, I knew this.
It's Basculin.
When she said it was Basculin, it all clicked, and I remembered that.
Yeah.
All right, Basculin is correct. Blue Stripe Basculin had Reckless changed to Rockhead.
Yeah.
Also, a fun fact about this one, it was actually just an oversight in Black and White, as there's an in-game trait in Pokemon White to receive a Blue Stripe Basculin, and that one actually does have Rockhead as ability instead of Reckless, so it's probably an issue in coding, which Game Freak never has. So,
did they like make a typo and then
probably. Also, Basculin is a Pokemon that didn't need to exist, but that's a whole other thing.
Fair, yes.
You guys are 1 for 2. Your next question is going to be your Pokedex entry question, as always. We're going to go ahead and ask you this question from, I believe, Snackard. Its Pokemon Y Dex entry reads, if you're enchanted by its smooth, dance-like kicks, you may get a closer experience with one than you'd like. Who's that Pokemon?
What?
If you were enchanted by its smooth, dance-like kicks, you may get a closer experience with one than you'd like. Who's that Pokemon?
That is such a
Pokemon
cute Y.
Because my immediate thought was Serena, and that is not.
No, exactly. So, another Pokemon that dances, but it doesn't kick people. It could be. Whoa, wait. Mienfoo, maybe.
Mienshao.
Mienshao has more entries about the fur on its sleeves, but yeah, another possibility.
Let's say Mienfoo then. Thatch tends to give it to us if we get the line, but not the Mon.
I'll give it to you if you give me the line, but not the Mon, yeah. Who do you answer?
Let's try Mienfoo.
Mienfoo is incorrect. So your next Pokedex entry is going to come from Pokemon Crystal. After doing a handstand to throw off the opponent's timing, it presents its fancy kick moves.
Okay, that's Hitmontop or Hitmonlee. Probably Hitmontop. I would say Hitmontop because it's based on a capoeira dancer. So.
Well, dancer is the is arguably
martial
incorrect.
Artist with, capoeira is a dance-like martial art, so yeah.
A groove. We'll split the difference and say grooving fighter.
Okay, that was totally unnecessary, but also awesome. So yeah, let's say Hitmontop.
Hitmontop is correct. You guys are 2 for 3. So your next question is going to be your multiple answer question, as always. There are 7 answers for this question. We're not going to do that. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 7 answers for this question as well. So you get a point for every 2 you give. If you give me all 7, you can pat yourselves on the back. Or maybe if the chat on Twitch gives you the thumbs up, I'll give you a bonus point on top of that for a total of 4. We're gonna go ahead and give you this one from Lucario1. Everyone knows that Clefable is able to use multiple moves as part of its Unite move. Oh, is this Pokemon Unite? Do you guys know anything about Pokemon Unite?
No.
Oh, you're getting another one from Wolfie then. As of Generation 8, what 7 non-legendary Pokemon have equal base stat distribution in that every single one of their stats has the same base stat?
Okay, Glalie.
Castform.
You have to lock them in. You have to lock them in with me, but
okay.
And 3 strikes and you're out.
I know Unknown was incorrect. So, but let's lock Glalie. Let's lock Castform.
Both of those are correct. Glalie with a base stat 80 across the board. Castform with 70.
Mm-hmm.
That's 2. There are 5 to go.
Was that right?
Sunkern, lock it in.
Okay.
Which one?
Sunkern.
Sunkern is also correct with 30s across the board. That's 3.
Wasn't Ditto one of your answers, Lynian?
I realized I don't know if its health is different or not.
Okay. We'll keep that on the back burner then.
Well, we have 3 strikes, right?
You have 3 strikes, yeah.
Yeah. Then let's try Ditto.
Ditto is correct with 48s across the board.
Okay, so that's 4, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
I know Unknown isn't correct, and I want to say Unknown.
Okay.
Do you want to try Snowrunt?
Maybe later.
Okay.
There's wait, no, that's technically still a mythical / legendary. Fionn, yeah.
Yeah, it's a mythical.
So what else is there? Was something else.
I'm gonna need an answer here, guys.
Yeah.
I know. I'm thinking, but super rounded base
You
stats
do have.
are usually.
You do have the hint.
No, we do have the hint. We got a question wrong, so we should use it.
Cash it in. So
let's use it.
So you've answered Ditto, Sunkern, and Glalie so far. One is a Gen 3 Ice type, one is a Gen 3 Normal type, and one is a Gen 2 Fighting type.
Tyrogue? Lock it in.
Tyrogue is correct. With
okay,
a
so
35.
Snorunt must be the other one.
Snorunt is correct. That is 50s across the board.
What was the third hint?
Normal.
Gen 3 Normal type.
Gen 3 Normal type.
Gen 3 Normal type that isn't cast form.
And it's not Kecleon.
I know it's not Kecleon. It has better special defense than anything else. The Gen 3 Normal type.
Not Zigzagoon, not Linoon, not Talo, that's Swallow.
It's not Skitty, right? It has stats.
Yes.
Is it Skitty?
No, it's Skitty.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's Skitty.
Well, we can try. We get 2 strikes after that one.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Skitty.
Skitty is unfortunately incorrect. It is not
Okay.
Skitty.
Oh, they've led us astray.
Okay. It's a single normal type, or does that include?
It's a single normal type.
Okay. Well, there's not a bajillion.
I mean, this is just for you guys have 3 points, so you guys can give up
I
if you
know.
really want.
It's just
Okay,
for
then
fun.
I'm good. I'm only gonna rack my brains about Gen 3's normal types for so long. Please tell me the answer if we've gotten all the points on the board.
It's going to be Spinda. Spinda.
Yeah, we could have
Pokemon.
sat there for another half hour, and I would not have remembered that Spinda exists.
Spinda is such a forgettable Pokemon.
Yeah.
Me, who loves red pandas, can never remember
Spinda.
it.
It
And it's
doesn't
more
look
likely when...
enough like a red panda to count as a red
Speaking
panda.
of doesn't look like a red panda, do you know what comes to mind when I think of red panda more? Beware.
Yes.
Yeah, that looks like a
That's
red panda completely.
All right, so we have one more question left. It's your base stat question, as always. This is, as a reminder, is only up to Gen 8. And we're going to go with the question from the trivia master himself, Liger. What fighting type Pokemon has the lowest base attack?
Well, Tyrogue is a baby, but he's not that bad.
If I remember right, he's a baby and is.
Who? Sorry?
Tyrogue is a baby and is that bad.
Even in its attack stat?
I'll remind you.
Well, as
I'll
we
remind
just
you
learned,
that
they're all rounded.
I'll remind you that he's base 35s across the board. I'll give you that. I'll give you that
So
for
it's
free.
basically if there's... Yeah, no, it's basically a question of is there another one who has something lower than 35? I can't think of any. Because there aren't any fighting type special attackers that aren't like... I guess the other one, baby, is Riolu, but I feel like it has to be something other than Riolu,
I think Riolu is better than Tyrogue. Simply because it's not
I
a
do
Gen 2
but also
baby.
I think its attack stat is higher.
Yeah. Simply because it's a baby, but it's not from Gen 2, so...
I mean, that does count for a lot.
Yeah.
Unless you're trying to be your Thatch's favorite Pokemon, in which case...
Yeah, because Cubfu is decent. Yeah, I can't think of anything on the spot because, no.
Tyrogue.
Yeah, let's go with Tyrogue.
Tyrogue is correct with a base 35 attack.
Good.
Next in line for those of you that go to trivia bars that I would love to go to is Meditite with 40. Medicham and Makuhita was 60, and Croagunk was 61.
Yeah,
So
I thought of
yeah.
Meditite because
that's
it's
six.
half
That's 6
psychic,
points?
but- Yeah.
6 points?
Three.
I think that's how many.
Yeah.
That feels right.
So
okay.
we got 0, 1, 1,
Yeah.
3, and then 1. Yeah, that's 6.
So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to sort the points today, and that does change up our standings slightly. Remember, everybody, this is a race to 40 points, and it's going to be the first one from Seth Vilo is in first now with 20 points, followed up by Lynian with 18. Whimsicott's in third with 12. Tied for fourth, we have Claude and Shark with 11. In sixth, we have Mark with 8. In seventh, we have a tie between Sublime and Dr. Shamu with 7. And in ninth, we have a tie between R Sigma and Jushiro with 6. If you want to listen to more, you can definitely just check us out anytime you want. Every week we have these trivia questions. They will be updated to Gen 9 most likely next week. And I am very excited to ask those questions. But until then, we are going to take you guys over to the part that you actually care about today. We're going to kick it on over to the topic. We have another review this week from iTunes from Boy Jeff. Amazing, 5 stars. I just started listening this year, but I've loved it ever since. So thank you for that. And if you would like to review us with you listen to the podcast, on top of that, you might be able to be right on the show. And until then, we'll be clearing over this. Welcome to the topic. Our topic today is going to be about Sword and Shield.
What?
No, yeah, exactly. I did that on purpose. It's obviously Scarlet and Violet. The game's just dropped. We've been playing it.
You pulled a sneak.
I know, I pulled a sneaky on you. We're actually talking about Sword and Shield and why Scarlet and Violet's a better game.
Despite all attempts at the opposite.
Honestly, I don't think you're wrong, though, right? Like,
should we just start with the bad stuff? Because I think all of us are feeling much more positively than negatively.
Oh, absolutely.
So let's just get the little minute of hate out.
No, okay, so this game runs horribly.
Yes.
Oh, it's so bad.
This game runs absolutely, like, garbage.
It crashed after a boss on me.
Whoa, no.
No, I did the same thing. No, I had 2 Pokemon evolve after a trainer battle, and it crashed on me. Because the game is just very poorly optimized in a lot of ways. Like this feels it messes up to the point that it feels like the entire game is a beta. And
yes,
I don't like that. I don't like that. I feel that TCG Live runs better than this game.
Yeah, see my previous comment about the Pokeball asset just showing up.
Yeah, no, I've had that happen so many times actually. Like I've had it show up in just like cutscenes. It just shows up.
Yeah.
A lot of the time. Yeah, I mean, the game just doesn't run very well, and people are moving at 3 frames per second off in the distance.
Yeah.
We had those minor complaints when PLA came out.
Things that it would be better just not to show.
Yeah, it's just...
Like, what's baffling to me is it's like, okay, you hide that. Like, you just make it so if something's further out where you're only drawing it at 4, you just don't draw it at all. It looks better. That's a problem.
I don't disagree with you, but then there would be nothing on the map at this point.
Yeah.
Oh, as opposed to how lifeful and growing it is.
Okay, the thing that really gets me is like they made like what would be very beautiful scenery everywhere in this game, particularly in the town with the grass type gym leader in it.
Oh yeah.
The game has this beautiful windmill. It would be these beautiful set pieces in the background in your battles with wild Pokemon and trainers. But the problem is because they're like everything's running so poorly, the windmill is turning slower than a Windows 98 hourglass.
Yeah.
And it's very distracting and very immersion breaking. Because like I think back to, I mean, I hate making this comparison because I really hate when people compare Pokemon to Breath of the Wild. But like you think back to Breath of the Wild and like things you see off in the distance, it's usually okay. Granted, there is a few more things going on here. Because there's like a whole battle system and like a bajillion of other creatures on the map. And Breath of the Wild was very empty compared to this, actually.
Yeah. I think that comparison is very unfair because Breath of the Wild was a feat of optimization.
Oh, absolutely.
It should not have worked as well as it did, and they only made it do that because it was also coming out on Wii U. So it had to be relentlessly optimized.
And they also delayed it a number of times. It was delayed so many times.
Yeah, and we know you can't delay a Pokemon game.
I don't want to say you can't, but I think they just won't.
But you really can.
They really should have.
Yeah.
I'm expecting a patch. We always get a patch of some sort, like within the first month of the game's release, where they usually fix how when you save in the main city, you can no longer have a save file.
Yeah.
At least none of the stuff has been save breaking.
Yes. No,
it's been immersion breaking, but like no one's lost hours of work. I lost about 2 minutes.
After going from BDSP, which had the most beautiful battle backgrounds in any Pokemon game I have ever played, to this is a little jarring, and I kind of want that back.
The thing that is jarring to me is when you go into a Terra Raid battle, everything looks amazing.
Yeah, they definitely did optimize that. I do agree with you.
They optimized that, and it's like, if the rest of the game was as beautiful and ran as smoothly as those do, can you imagine the potential?
unlike some other games that could have these problems, the gameplay itself does make up for a lot of the issues.
Yeah.
It's a little bit more forgiving or forgivable than some other games you might play.
And it's also not as bad. I will say this. I read some of the reviews and Reddit stuff, which was a terrible mistake. I know. But I read some of that before just because I was curious to know what people were thinking. And I was worried that it was going to be truly unplayably bad.
No, it's not that bad.
And it's not.
No.
It takes something that would be an easy 10 out of 10 and pins it no higher than an 8.
I agree with that.
Mostly so do I.
Reddit was really funny about this actually because they brought up the fact that like Pokemon, I mean, it's still getting really good scores on review sites. This game obviously, like
because it's good.
It's getting like 9 out of 10s, 95s out of 100s or whatever. And somebody they go. So I've determined that the Pokemon factor is plus 0.2 roughly to everything, because if this was any other game, they would be giving it like 7s and 70s.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're probably not wrong. I mean, Pokemon is really good. They're a master at their craft in terms of gameplay design, I think. They do have a habit sometimes of just phoning it in because they can, which is fair.
You could also go about this the other way. You could say they could totally put out the game that is half of what this is, and people would still gobble it up because it's Pokemon. So it's admirable that they are trying.
No, I agree with you. I think that I'm not mad about this game existing.
No. Neither am I.
I think that this game is done well. This is just like the one place where it suffers is that so the main issue, the reason that we have a lot of like lag and stuttering issues in terms of how bad things look sometimes is because of and how bad it feels to play sometimes, because sometimes your frame rate stutters like when you're running and stuff. And this is just because there's a memory. The way it handles the memory, it like tries to load the whole map at the same time.
Oh no!
And it stores it improperly. And so actually, if you just save and reboot the game, it cleans it
every like couple hours.
It just cleans it.
So.
It just cleans it, and it runs way smoother. Yeah, fun fact.
Yep, it's called a memory leak. Very common bug.
Because so the problem is that this game doesn't have blood moons, is what you're telling me.
Yeah, so it's actually a really simple thing for them to fix in the long run. Like,
exactly.
For them to like, it's a very simple fix, which I do believe they will inevitably do.
Even if it's delayed until banker DLC.
I mean, I could even see it coming in the next month.
I would prefer it to, and I don't think it won't, but I'm just letting people have that moment to prepare.
I think an update that makes it run smoother will just appear in like the next month or so. I mean, it could even happen when we get like the new Terra Raid updates for next month. Yeah, I mean, that's like the bad stuff out of the way. I don't want to harp on the game.
Yeah, that's pretty much
super well all the time. I just would like to see people walk at more than like 3 frames per second when they're more than 10 feet away from me. That's all I hope that they fix in the future.
Because like I said, this game is amazing.
Yeah.
It took me 3 hours to get to the school.
Yes.
And I had caught 50 Pokemon by the time that I had, because I just wanted to explore.
Me too. I wish there was a little bit of scaling to the gyms. Because if you go one way and then you go back the other way, the gyms are just, you click a button and the gym is over, which isn't very climactic. And then the other super tiny complaint, the way the Pokédex is handled, if you don't want spoilers, like I don't want them, you have to be careful how you use it, because it will just give you the silhouettes of stuff that's there if it's just next to something else in the Pokédex, if you click on it. I had one Pokemon in the Dex, and then I looked at the entry just before it, and it had the outline of a Gen 4 evolution that I didn't even know the Pokemon was returning.
Sometimes it happens though, because you just see it out in the distance.
Yeah, I caught a Ralts before I got to the gym. So this is what I'm willing to bet happened. Your game rendered a Ralts. Added the Ralts line to the scene, and then
I agree with what Lynian said. This happens.
That is messed up.
If a Pokemon pops up on like the map in front of you, you might not see it if it's a small Pokemon, because like I saw a Fungus and I didn't know about it, and it registers it to your scene in the Pokedex. There's 3 versions of like scene, or there's like there's like the tradition.
3 tiers.
There's the traditional scene that you would see, like I had battled this Pokemon but did not catch it, and there's the caught. But there's also like another tier of like you've glimpsed this Pokemon in the wild before. You miss it a lot because you see things pop up in the Pokedex as a result.
I didn't have a Pokedex space for Ralts. That's the thing. I didn't have the Ralts line. I just had Gallade.
Well, weird.
It was super
That is
weird.
Just don't look at the dex then.
I mean,
Yeah, I had to stop doing that.
if that's the only one, that sounds like a bug because it only does it for me for the other things.
Yeah.
It's weird. Anyway, on to the positives.
But enough mean.
So I want to go back and circle back to your comment about the level scaling. I have opposite feelings than you do. I have noticed the lack of level scaling in the new Pokemon. I actually like it.
Okay.
I find it slightly more immersive. It means that you are a stronger trainer just going around the land, beating up gym leaders to go, like, just get your credentials. I mean, obviously, you're still going to have a hard time with the harder gym leaders. You can just go back and circle back and say, hey, I'm taking you out now.
You either have a game where all content is roughly equally difficult, which I don't think is an inherent good, but it is a game where no matter what you do, you're roughly at that level. Or you have a game where you can stomp things easily, or you can kick their teeth in. Now, I don't think that's strictly better either. I just wish they would help. The one thing I wish that they would help me flag what I should be doing. Let Nurse Joy's little thing, instead of being a thing I can handle, it's just the lowest leveled thing I haven't cleared.
That's a good change, I think. That's a good change.
That would be nice, yes.
They already, like, kind of force you into certain directions anyway. Because if you go far enough on one route, you realize things are getting kind of rough, and you have to go back the other route.
Yeah, exactly.
The end of the world, I mean, it's not as like free and explory as people think wanted it to be, which is kind of weird because, like, it's a Pokemon game, so you need level scaling, like, to some extent.
I don't want everything to be level scaled to your level. I want just the gym leaders to be, for the simple reason that in the lore, gym leaders do that, and Nemona specifically mentions doing that to battle with you. So why are the gym leaders not doing that?
Well, the gym leaders, only ever did that once in one region at one time in a
anime short,
vaguely canon.
No. That's no. In Black and White 2, Charon says, "Oh, this is your first gym."
No, and he still says this is my gym team because he can't use his regular Pokemon. That's just his gym team in general.
But he didn't say his one badge gym team. He said his gym team.
Yes.
Okay, fair enough.
I like the lore where they have a team that's a specific difficulty all the time, and that's just what they use for their official battles. And I say they still have stronger Pokemon, which is why when you can, like, I don't know if you can in this game, but maybe you can. I haven't gotten far enough to care. Where you rebattle gym leaders, though, in older games, that when you do the rematches, they're way harder. Like, they have two teams.
I don't know. I just think since Nemona makes a point about it, which is fair because she's a champion, right?
Nemona does it, like, yeah, as your friend.
As your friend, not as a gym leader, not in an official capacity where she's handing out gym badges.
Yeah, but Nemona is going easy on you.
Nemona is perfect, and I wouldn't hold anyone to her standards.
Who isn't a little bit in love with Nemona?
Honestly, I love all three of them. They're all great.
So she would be my favorite, but I have an incredibly soft spot for Arven, as anyone who has done at least 2 Titans can probably
yes.
know why.
Well, yeah.
I was like, wow, this guy's kind of a jerk. I really like him. And then they give his motivation, like, oh.
It wasn't just, oh. It was like 15 minutes of ugly crying over here.
Oh, that's a little rough. I mean, it is a good story.
It hits depressingly close to home for me right now. So I was like, uh-oh.
Anyway, let's cheer up.
Yeah, let's cheer up and talk about the characters in general.
Mm-hmm.
I love all of them.
My favorite character that we've added so far is Director Clavel, or whatever his name is.
Clive.
Clive.
He just gives off hello fellow kids energy.
He gives off cool dad energy, and I love it.
I was so worried we were gonna have like another issue just like in Swish where it's just like, here's horribly telegraphed old man is definitely bad guy.
No, he's
He's just a dork.
Just a dude.
He's just a dork, and I love it. That's what I want.
Have you guys done Iono's gym trial?
Yes.
Where he just shows up and and you have to do Where's Waldo with just him, and he's just like, you're doing great.
Hi, yeah, where's Waldo?
It's such a good gym. Oh, I loved it. I was so happy.
And the title of the gym trial?
Where in the world is Mr. Find Me?
Where in Levincha is Mr. Walkabout? Yes.
Make it Walkabout. Oh, it's so good.
It is very good.
I laughed so much. Oh my goodness.
And his response isn't even like, isn't like the comically serious. His response is just, well, I guess this might as well happen. He's just a walking John Mulaney character.
Yeah.
So I just want to circle back, though, to gym challenges in general. I've done 4, like, full, like, Pokemon gym battle or gym challenges, which, one, I think are necessary to play the game properly, because you need to get the gym badges so the level scaling works. I saw some complaints on some people in the stream that are just like, this Pokemon won't listen to me, and they're just like, I've been playing 6 hours and I haven't gotten a gym badge.
Yeah, you need the badge.
And I'm just like, there's your problem. Like, that's why it's not listening to you.
Yeah.
You need to go get gym badges. Gym badges are actually incredibly important in the game, and that's kind of how they create sequencing in the game, because you will get to areas where Pokemon are higher level than your gym badges will allow you to control.
So here's something funny. I know that you can catch things at a much higher level than you're intended to. Because I misinputted when I was fighting a level 50 Gimme Ghoul, because I've been like, because you have to find them all around the world to get the coins to evolve them. So I misinputted against a level 50 Gimme Ghoul, got a critical capture, and that's just chilling in my box now.
Oh, wow. But it won't listen, of course.
It won't listen, and honestly, I don't want to use one that's that high of a level.
I did struggle a lot, but I did catch a level 41 Dino when I wasn't supposed to be able to catch stuff over level 35. Well, I wasn't supposed to be able to catch it easily.
You can definitely catch them.
Yeah. It felt really good because it was a struggle, and it was what got my starter to evolve to the final level. So I was like, yeah, that feels nice in a very panoramic spot. And then I turned tail and I went back because I was like, I am not entering this cave. This is bad news. but I have a fully evolved starter now, and he looks.
I do as well.
Yeah, I do not. I'm not there yet. I'm very close, actually, but.
What starter did you take? Did you take Fuecoco?
No, I didn't. So what ended up happening was I'm playing Scarlet, and I was just like, oh, Armor Rouge is in this game. I'm not picking Fuecoco.
Okay.
I picked Quaxley. I did the broken thing. I love his evolution though, because his name is exactly what I would nickname him anyway. It's just Quaxwell. And it's just like Maxwell, and I'm just like, this fits. I'm here for this.
I haven't seen. So I think I may have gotten a glimpse of the final evolution.
No, you should have. If you've got 3 gyms, Nimona should have battled you.
I've seen Quaxwell. I haven't seen the next step.
Oh, the final evolution.
I think I caught a glimpse. If it is what I think it is, I love it, but I need to get a better look at it.
All of the starters are themed very strongly in this one.
Yeah, I saw.
Well, as in all 3 of them have the same theme like they have for a while, and it works pretty well.
Yeah.
No, they it is absolutely themed very well. I enjoy this game. I think this is I enjoy the starters. I've enjoyed the Pokemon designs. I've had like no problems. I've had
a lot of issues with some of the designs.
I mean, a lot of the I do feel so, like in Sword and Shield, I thought that the Pokemon designs were like all bangers. I do not feel that way about this gen.
Not at all.
I do not think they're all bangers.
Some of them I literally looked at and said, why?
Some of them I'm not a big fan of some of them. I was pretty good this time, and I don't know if it was just for like lack of caring or what, but I saw the leaks, but I didn't pay attention, if that makes sense. Like I saw I'd look for a couple things, because like I was more concerned with mechanics about what's returning and what's not returning, and like things that the biggest thing I was mostly concerned about was, if Stantler's here, can I get a Weird Deer?
Timer.
Which is obviously not true.
Okay.
Sadly.
Yeah, which is annoying because I don't like the idea of regional evolutions, which I hope doesn't continue. I can understand Hisui to some extent, but I just don't want that to continue if they...
Yeah, Statler's Dex entry says it used to be able to evolve under its own power, but now it's too weak. And I'm like, that's a cop-out.
That's a cop-out to do literally nothing, right? Like, it's not even like, you're not even taking anything away from the game other than, like, PLA sales, maybe?
Yeah, that's very sad.
I don't like it. It's a bad decision.
I guess this is the right time to ask, what about the other thing that we care so much about that? Because I haven't looked into that
Timer?
yet. Yeah, the timer.
Oh, timer is 20 minutes again. That was like the first thing Pokeaim found when he got the ROM.
And not only is timer 20 minutes, local it's not like you can go to someone's union circle and then...
Which is annoying.
I figured it would be like this, but it was nice to hope for a little while.
I don't think it's honestly a Pokemon problem at this point. 20-minute timer. I think it's a Nintendo problem. I honestly think Nintendo just said, our servers can't handle this because they're not very good. That's what we got now.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Like, that's my honest opinion of what's going on. Nintendo just doesn't have faith in their servers, which I don't honestly blame them.
I can't fault.
I mean, it's fair.
I can't fault them for it.
The official format works with that timer, and so,
They're making it work. I don't know. I'm just not a big fan.
Me neither, of course.
Pokeaim makes a really good point in that if you want everybody to play that, you need to make the gameplay play me through doubles.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't had a double battle yet, and I'm like 10 badges in.
Looking at one of the gyms, though, it looks like one gym is doubles at least.
I could believe that, but Pokemon designs, though, I think mostly are okay. There's some interesting things. Like, there's just a lot of Pokemon. Like, in Sword and Shield, I saw the Pokemon, I'm like, yeah, that's a Pokemon, and I kind of like it. Like, I even like things like Stonejourner.
Yeah, fair enough.
I like Stonejourner. I think it is a cute design that deserves to exist. But this one, I run into some Pokemon and I'm just like, we didn't need you.
Yeah, same.
Do we need a dung beetle? Do we need a dung beetle?
Do we need a dung beetle? Do we need the Minecraft Pokemon?
I feel like the dung beetle, yes, because that's one that I have seen 1,000,001 fan designs because it's an animal with an interesting...
There's 1,000,001 fan designs about every Pokemon. Like, it's fine.
Yeah.
Yes, but I don't know. I'm at least feeling like they hit the "is it a Pokemon" button for me.
No.
I'm not quite there yet. I'm gonna be honest with you.
There's a Minecraft Pokemon. I feel very strongly about that one.
Okay, that one's saved by its name and its name alone.
Okay, the name is fantastic.
Knackley and Knacklestack are amazing because they just said, okay, these are salt-based Pokemon, and everything about them is about salt, which is good for so many memes and so many reasons. And then they go, then they just go ahead and they're just like, also, nerds are going to love this because we're just going to name them sodium chloride.
Yeah.
It's literally salty. NaCl and then I for either iodine or just, salty.
And the tiny one is fine.
No, the I's not for the iodine. The I's just there to give it character, so it's just not Knackle.
Yeah. Knackley is fine. It's almost kind of cute, but Knacklestack
is... I think they have to, though, based on like how... I mean, if you actually see salt stuff like that, it does crystallize in that way.
Yeah, like that is how salt do crystallize.
I know it does crystallize in a cube, but it looks like a Minecraft Pokemon.
Really love its ability that it got, purifying salt, which makes it...
I love that ability. I love its move. The Salt Cure move. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
So purifying salt, it gives it resistance to ghost, as well as something else that I don't remember off the top of my head.
Cute.
But I'm like, yeah, it's an exorcism salt. I love that.
Like its signature move, Salt Cure. Also, like so it does like residual damage each turn, a little bit like Curse.
Mm-hmm.
It does more specifically to water types and to steel types.
And steel types, again, very nerdy.
It just interacts with all of these types that it shouldn't. I love it so much.
I mean, it should if you go scientific about it.
It's like they went, let's make a salt type for just this Pokemon.
Pretty much.
It interacts with so many types. I just love it. They need to continue making good things. I appreciate everything that they're doing right now. Not everything. There's some like little bug. There's a lot of bug types this gen.
And none of them are good except one, and I really like low kicks, and everything else is bad.
No, I don't like that one.
I'm not a big fan of low kicks.
You're allowed to be wrong.
I don't like that one. I hate the other early bird. Like, I hate Spite Ops. Like, I hate it with a passion.
Yeah.
I hate him. Nope, I do not like him.
Tarantula is super cute. And I thought, oh, we're gonna get a super cute bug type. And then it turns into that thing. Yuck.
A balding middle-aged Cyclops with 6 eyes. Yep.
Ugh.
It's fine.
Ugh.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Not every Pokemon can be a winner, right? So.
Yeah, but I did find it very funny that when the video of that tiny deep sea octopus came out, everyone was like, that's a Pokemon! And they immediately made a Pokemon that is that animal.
They might have done that. What are you talking about? I don't really know what you're talking about. Flittle? Is that
it's the same shape as that little octopus.
No, it's a bird.
It's a bird.
It is. I guess it kind of looks like a Dumbo octopus.
It's a bird when it evolves, but okay, no. Look it up. It's that tiny octopus, the really cute one. It even has the ears. Look it up.
I've seen what it evolves into. It is not a Dumbo octopus.
I have seen what it evolves into, and I was very perplexed.
It is definitely not an octopus.
No. Look it up. I swear it's that thing. I will find you the name.
The animal is a Dumbo octopus. I do know this.
Okay, there you go.
And
it looks exactly like it before it evolves.
Come on. I'm gonna disagree.
So, we haven't talked about raids. How do you feel about raids?
Like them. Love them.
I'm a fan of these raids, actually. I like these a lot better than the Swish raids. Swish raids were dumb in comparison. Yeah. Like, these are really good.
These are better. I don't know how they work.
The point isn't to know how they work. The point is to just play them.
You just spam the baton and you win.
Yeah.
Yes, but apparently these get much harder at the higher level than Swish raids.
That's even better. I love that.
Okay, but then they tell you how to do them when they get hard.
Yes, that's not a problem. Okay, so they tell... Okay, because I haven't hit any explanation for what's happening, and one time I got shot with a laser, and I don't know what happened.
I got shot with a laser?
It says charging energy, then all of a sudden the entire raid wiped. I went, what?
You got shot with a laser because you ran out of time.
Okay. That was not explained.
That's what happens when you run out of time. So the energy that is in the Terra raid den is charged inside the Pokemon, and it releases it all at the same time at the end when the timer runs out, and you get thrown out of the den by that energy. But the explanation, which you might not even have needed it yet, but if you take all the available classes at the school...
I haven't done any of those, by the way, and...
So, they're actually useful.
Really good for giving information.
Yeah.
And also really cool for introducing some characters I feel are vaguely important.
Really?
Yeah, all of the teachers.
Oh, I should take a class.
You should. I thought... So, the game isn't scripted perfectly well right there, because you get to the school, you get a time skip, and they kick you out the door, and they make you think that you shouldn't go back to the school, but you should. Because the lessons actually do give you... So most of them are stuff that we already know.
Yeah.
But a newer player might like to learn about. But a couple of them are specific to this game, like how to find eggs. I learned that from a class. Yeah.
Yeah, or the history of the region, including how long it's been a kingdom, where it was formed from.
Yeah, of course you fixated on that, but it is very interesting.
Why is there lore in Pokemon games? What's happening?
Exactly.
Honestly, and it's good lore. Like, it's just reasonable.
It's really good.
I believe you.
It's really good.
All of the story stuff in this game is great. All 3 stories are at least somewhat interesting.
Yes.
Yeah, there were some things in, like, the early leaks where they're just like, it's just a Pokemon story, it's not that great. I don't agree at all.
Hard disagree?
No, it's really cool.
I disagree very much so with the sentiment that this has nothing to do, or these stories are garbage, because they're not.
I mean,
they're not like amazing, but
exactly.
They're fine.
Yeah, they're fine.
For Nintendo games, they're pretty good.
Yeah, like I thought this was like For a Pokemon game, pretty good. It's better than like last second bad guy Macrocosmos. Like
the villains have motivation.
Yeah, there's like a lot going on here, and it's like it's layered.
You don't get all of the backstory at once.
Yeah, right. It's just not like all the story after the 7th badge. Like,
exactly. Honestly, all of the characters actually have a personality, and they are interesting. And also very interesting in other ways, but yeah.
Koraidon and Miraidon did the best thing.
Oh!
They gave you a buddy that's always around.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you can get attached to it. They made it adorable.
It's so cute!
They basically took Nebby and said, what if we, instead of tying it to an NPC, you know?
What if it was Toothless from How to Train Your Dragon?
Right. So what they did is they quite honestly, they're just like, all right, so we'll take we'll let them bond to it, but instead of tying it to an NPC who's around, we'll give it to the player. So the player is actually incentivized to really bond with their legendary. And then they made it something that you want to use and is really useful. My boyfriend just sent me from the other room where he can hear me, How to Train Your Nebby, and that's basically what it is. And you know what? It works really well.
It is. Oh, wow.
I'm very excited to explore the story because they just give you so many good plot hooks. The plot hooks are much better in this one. It feels a lot like Breath of the Wild. In Breath of the Wild, you had like a lot of the what happened 100 years ago type deal, and you'd go recover the memories and whatnot. And here, they're just like, they drop you just enough to like make you want to go do the next thing to progress the story.
Yeah, they do.
You're like, hey, what is Arwen's deal? Is Team Star not just a bunch of bullies?
Yeah.
The director, he just goes, don't you dare tell me that you've actually done this. And I'm like, did what?
Exactly.
I can't believe you've done this.
If Thatch was in the room, that's what Thatch would have said. Wait, hold on, old man.
It's really cool.
They're breadcrumbing it, but also, I've never felt like I have been disincentivized. Oh, Riolu. I've been disincentivized to actually do the plot.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I haven't stopped wandering because the story is holding me hostage.
No. I really like the way that's set up because one, it's a Pokemon game, so like Pokemon's got a very specific flow to it.
Mm-hmm.
In that when you go from town to town, you just want to catch the things. Like, this is what I was going to say earlier that I forgot to say, is the only problem I have is, like, I've just come off playing PLA, and all of the buttons are different for the GUI.
Yeah, exactly. I have opened the map so many times.
It annoys me to no end because, like, I wish they could have just opened the map with the same button.
Or jumped with the same button.
And there's so many times where I try to make my character duck and roll, and then it opened the map, and it's just like, like, I wish they would just do, like, I don't need to catch Pokemon like Legends Arceus, because honestly, I think the battle transitions are much smoother than the Legends Arceus transitions into battle.
Yeah.
Which makes it very quick to just chuck a Pokeball, you know, if you want to do that. And I have no problem doing it this way. Like, this is the best hybrid between the two, I think.
I agree.
Between Legends Arceus and
Classic Pokemon. This is a very good in-between. And I thought I was going to get mad because, like, I was upset with Sword and Shield at launch at first because there were the Dexit issues, but Dexit also they only brought in 400 Pokemon. And I thought that was kind of small because you can complete the Pokedex pretty reasonably quick there. But I don't feel that way about this one.
This isn't much bigger.
It's not much bigger, but I don't know, like the way they spread the Pokemon out, and I guess maybe it's that it's no longer random encounters. So that might be, might play a role in it. I just do not feel like, oh god, that's level 50. I do not feel the same way as I did previously.
Paul and I were talking about it, and I think what it comes down to is there's not just one or two evolved Pokemon. Basically, everything is encounterable somewhere. So you're constantly feeling like there's new stuff, even if it's not. You'd have strong encounters in the wild area.
I agree and disagree. So, like, the wild area, you definitely had a lot of Pokemon that you could catch. I think the problem was the Pokemon that you were catching in the wild area repeat a lot to some extent. I mean, you could catch everything, and you could catch everything here, obviously, as well. It seems like, which is the right way to do it. Like, trait evolution should just be in the wild. Just make my life easy. They did a really good job in Sword and Shield in incorporating that, and they followed suit here. I mean, this is the game that Sword and Shield should have been. And I think this is kind of what they were going with the wild area. I mean, you can very much see the evolution of Pokemon in like the past 3 years, where we had Sword and Shield and the wild area was like the alpha of this. Then you get the DLC, and the DLC was very, very easy and smooth.
The beta, and then PLA was version 0.9.
Legends Arceus was done very well. I mean, I think this is the same engine as Legends Arceus.
Oh, it looks like it. Yeah.
Which is great. I mean, Legends Arceus is a great game. The problem I had with Legends Arceus is I was running into so many Pokemon. So because that dex was smaller, right? That was only 240 Pokemon. And a lot of them were legendaries. A lot of them were legendaries because it's Gen 4. So like you just like if I see another Drifloon in my life, so help me God.
You should just play Violet. Apparently it's a version exclusive to Scarlet.
Yeah, I saw because I keep seeing Drifloon, and that's honestly the only problem is that they obviously took a lot of Pokemon from Legends Arceus because they already had the models ready, and they put them in here.
Well, and they want them to be able to be imported. But even then, they did some updates.
Well, they just took a lot, and I'm sure when we get DLC, we'll get more Pokemon like we did last time.
Mm-hmm.
Which will be great to see them because these honestly look way better than the models in Sword and Shield because they're not just like the 3DS models recreated.
I have a question. I don't know if you guys know this. Are you ever able to wear any other clothes than the uniform?
No.
No, right?
Nope.
No.
I hate that.
Yeah, no, it's kind of bad in that sense. Like, I do miss that customization.
I wish they had told me that when they're deciding when your outfit's completely decided by your version, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I prefer this one, but that's...
I knew it was, but I thought, well, maybe... Like, I don't know, in the post-game at least, you can wear something else.
You can change your hat, and you can, like, alter it enough.
I know, you can change your socks, your shoes, and your hat, but...
You can alter it enough that you, like, look different, but...
Because ours is orange. Orange doesn't go with anything.
It's the best color.
It's true.
Look at this, you know?
I hate it.
I love orange, and does not go with
Goes
anything.
with nothing.
This is something that I'm not too worried about, because this is something that DLC should fix. Like, if you're asking about what comes in DLC, clothes is like one of the go-to answers.
I hope so, because the reason I think this might happen is that there are shops next to the shops that are enabled, and they're like, ooh, shopping online, I don't know about that. So maybe with the DLC, those shops connect to something that lets you shop for clothes.
Yeah, I think they have to kind of expand to some extent, because I believe Area 0 is where you will end up going for the DLC.
Or the end game. I'm not sure. It could be either.
Yeah, I don't know either. I assumed it was endgame.
We'll see, I guess.
Yeah, it feels like it's endgame, because they've had hints like one guy saying all roads lead to Area 0, as they said, and I'm like...
Yeah. There is another area on the map that is barred out.
Okay.
Yeah.
The same way that Area 0 is, and it's the top right part of the map, so that might be the DLC.
I see.
Yeah, that to me feels like the DLC, with Area 0 being just the end game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
I believe that. I would be interested to see how some things go. I don't know. There's a lot that's going on. I've really enjoyed this game so far. I mean, I'm only like 8 or 9 hours in, and I really, 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 really like it. I'm far more positive about this game than I am about Sword and Shield. Honestly, if they would have done Dexit and given me this game, I would have been much happier.
But I think part of the reason that you don't feel as much about Dexit in this one is that you're used to the concept now.
I think that's part of it too. I do agree with that. It's much more tolerable with like, hey, we improved the gameplay like a ton, and didn't give me just like a 3DS game on the Switch.
Fair.
There's no train. Okay, that's all I'm saying. There's no train to exile me from section to section in this one, and the routes feel really good. I wish they were labeled better.
Oh, they feel so...
I just wish they were slightly labeled slightly better.
Yeah?
It's really fun to be able to ask yourself, what's over that next hill? And the answer not to be the same encounter tables.
Yeah.
Exactly. looking at you, PLA, yeah, because Legends Arceus felt like that. I can't wait for there to be more Pokemon in this style of game, because I think you could, like, the problem is people are going to complain that this isn't like real open world or something for some reason, I'm sure.
If anyone says that, they're wrong. It is real open world. This
feels really good.
It is absolutely open world, and it feels so big.
Yes. I don't know how big it is, but it feels big. I think a lot of that just has to do with they were very good with the Pokemon distribution and spreading them around. A lot of the Pokemon distribution was done very, very well.
Yeah, trust me, as someone running around looking for Gimmighoul right now, it is a really big world!
There is one thing that is, like, slightly bothering me, and it's that some of the Pokemon are so tiny in the overworld.
Yes.
You, like, trip over them?
They're really hard to see, and I'm playing on a big TV.
You just bump into them all the time.
Yeah. Also, a friend told me that shinies don't sparkle. They're just a different color.
Nope.
Do not. They are just a different color. Yeah, it's not like the PLA where they make the noise.
That's terrible.
I about tripped over myself when I saw a pink Squavit.
That's terrible. I will miss so many of them because some of them are so tiny and some of them are almost the same color.
Could you imagine trying to get like Kapiskin or whatever? Capsakid?
Capsakid, that's his name.
He's so tiny.
He's so tiny. Nimble is even tinier. I run into it all the time.
Yep.
Gosh.
Yep.
I just haven't been in areas with a Nimble in a long time.
But yeah, I mean, overall, I just want to say I've really enjoyed this game, and I assume you guys are as well, because like I can't imagine it.
Oh yeah.
I really enjoy this game. I wish there were performance issues that were addressed. I think there's definitely discussion online that needs to be a little bit healthier about this.
Yeah, they're like, Nintendo needs to step in, maybe help them get a better QA team, but here's the thing, I want to they can't take only the idea isn't so good that their execution is...
Yeah.
They don't get only the blame. They also get the credit.
I agree with this.
And the credit is there. There's a lot to love.
I agree with that, and I think that they really need to get the credit for that. I mean, the only comment I could make is maybe they need to slow down a little bit, because I feel the burnout, honestly. I'm starting to feel the burnout from so many new Pokemon games so quickly, all the time. Especially because, like we were saying earlier, like 3 games in a year, within like the time frame, in the span of a year, that's a lot. I know Game Freak didn't develop all of those because BDSP was handled by Ilka, but it's still like, this is a lot of Pokemon games, and they're going to end up hitting some kind of saturation point, right? Where they just like, they start like cannibalizing themselves.
Yeah, they compete. You start competing with yourself, which, very complicated economics.
I would really like it if they just took some time. I thought the DLC model was a great way to go, but then we're just getting so many things so quickly.
I think it's possible this will not be the standard schedule. I think it's kind of likely, just given that I think BDSP. I don't think that I think because like they had to do a January release, which I don't think they wanted to do either. Something crunched in their schedule and led it to be like this. I don't think that's going to be the standard going forward.
Yeah, I have comments about the development of BDSP, but I don't think it's appropriate for this show, or this episode at least. There were some issues, but there were definitely some issues. I don't know what caused those issues in particular, but they did have issues with BDSP's development that caused it to be the November release. I think they were also just a little bit scared that PLA might not go over as well, and they were trying to do the safe play with BDSP.
Yeah.
Which in hindsight is funny.
Yes, it is. In hindsight, it's absolutely funny. PLA blew BDSP out of the water, even though it's got the prettiest battle backgrounds in the entire world.
That one artist just feels so sane.
Yes. I will praise the artwork in the battle backgrounds of BDSP until I die. Those were gorgeous.
They were, for real.
But, alright, yeah, so Scarlet Violet, good game. From the very unbiased Pokemon podcast. We don't enjoy Pokemon at all. This is an objective view.
To be fair, we spent way more about this review dunking on it than praising it, but all of us are like, wow, all of this is terrible. Game runs like crap. 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, because it's a good game.
It's very enjoyable.
All Pokemon games are good games, are good video games. I'll say all main series Pokemon games are good video games in general. I will say Scarlet and Violet are good Pokemon games, so like that puts it on top, right? on top of the top.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Like these might be my favorite Pokemon game. I don't know the answer to that.
Thatch, every game is our favorite Pokemon game the day that it comes out.
No. I can tell you that. No.
They are for me, usually.
These are great games. I cannot give any more praise other than please just... The game would be absolutely perfect if the frame rate issues were addressed.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and the crashing and the memory leak.
And, well, I think those are all linked.
If the game was better optimized, it would be great.
I think it would be very, very good. But yeah, I don't know. I don't want to say too much more without just sounding like a broken record. So I guess this has been our topic. We're going to kick it on over then to the Pokemon of the episode, where we're going to talk about probably an outdated team. But we're hoping that you'll like that 9 minutes of whatever it is. So we will go ahead and catch you on the flip-flop.
Poke of the episode.
Welcome to the Pokemon of the episode. Our Pokemon of the episode today is National Dex number 861, Grimmsnarl, the bulk up Pokemon.
It's Pokemon Scarlet. Pokédex entry states, this Pokemon has complete control over its hair. Grimmsnarl normally keeps its hair wrapped around its body to support its muscles.
To be fair, I think this was the only Pokemon on this team that is from Scarlet and Violet. So
it's in Scarlet and Violet at all? I think you're right.
This team is a Gen 8 team that you could use for VGC. And because this is the format you're stuck in on Swish right now, if you are playing Swish for some reason, this is what you have.
Like being a kid who can't afford to buy a new video game right when it comes out.
Exactly. I mean, you might be waiting until Christmas, right?
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and jump into it, though. This team is mostly just like the greatest hits from VGC 2022. And we can just kind of go over it. Like, this has Zacian on it, obviously, with the Rusted Sword. Because Grimmsnarl's a good Pokemon. Unfortunately, it's never had a good TCG card, I don't think. It hasn't had a good TCG card. Maybe, let me look. I need to look now. Does Grimmsnarl have a good TCG card?
Well, I don't know.
It's had TCG cards, but I don't think any of them have been playable.
None of them I know of, so they're probably
Even
not good.
Even its VMAX was just bad.
What was its VMAX? Let's read this. 3 Dark Energy for G-Max Drill. This attack, dude, the Shining Fates one? Dude, the artwork on this is actually really good. Wow, okay. It looks like a Power Ranger more than anything, but...
Which immediately gets you points for Thatch.
For Thatch, yeah, exactly. The stream did, actually, this week, they asked me if I could put a Patreon live show on where I take a couple of co-hosts and I essentially just bombard them with the history of Power Rangers PowerPoint.
I would love that. Please let me be one of them.
I just bombard them with a history of Power Rangers PowerPoint along with my ranking of Power Rangers teams and then individual Power Rangers.
I would also probably unironically enjoy that.
Listen, Thatch needs to do this.
See how many people you can get to sign up and see how many of them are great.
The thing is, like, I'm really good at talking, so this could be a while, okay, guys?
I will clear my calendar.
It could be. This could end up being a 2-hour lecture. Okay.
I think you underestimate how much long-form YouTube content I watch about things I don't care about. I watched an 8-hour review of a TV show I saw twice when I was 14.
If this is something people want, please let me know, because I will set it up if we hit like a certain dollar amount on Patreon or something. I will do this. I will do it. I'll put together this PowerPoint.
Yes. This is the only ethical use of Patreon goals.
Yeah, I think this is like the best one, right? Thatch gives a 2-hour lecture on Power Rangers and explains to everybody the complexity of the lore.
Wow.
Turns out that a giant space wizard who got trapped in a time warp found these coins based on dinosaurs. Okay, moving on. But yeah, G-Max Drill, 170 plus. This does 50 more damage for each extra dark energy attached to this Pokemon in addition to this attack cost.
And I thought you were going back to the theme of the episode, but no.
I mean, this is Grimmsnarl. I was looking at Grimmsnarl cards.
Yeah.
You can only do 270 damage, which isn't a lot actually in modern TCG. You should just play Ice Rider, which is worse Kyurem now. So go ahead and do that. All right, back to the team, though. It's got a Zacian on it. Rusted Sword, max attack, max speed, Jolly Nature, Iron Head, which turns into Behemoth Blade, for those of you who do not know. Protect, Play Rough, and Sacred Sword. Sacred Sword, I think, is the better play over Wild Charge. You can't play Wild Charge in that slot. If you want to cover things like, the thing that really stalls out Zacian is Ho-Oh. So, because like this set can't do anything to Ho-Oh, and Ho-Oh is a bulky boy. The other legend on this, because we're back to just 2 restricteds instead of unlimited restrictions, thank God, is that one of the Pokemon that won Worlds, which is Calyrex Shadow Rider, holding a Focus Sash ability as one with Spectre, obviously, so it's got the Grim Neigh, as well as Unnerve, which is like semi-useless, but it's also prevented people from running berries in VGC, so take that for what it's worth. Max special attack, max speed, because you gotta go fast, you gotta go burr. Timid Nature, you're gonna go Astral Barrage, Psychic, which is actually really good on this Pokemon. Protect and Energy Ball. This is decent coverage. Shadow Rider is always very good. I've seen a lot of Trick Room teams trying to make Ice Rider work. Trick Room's like always good in Pokemon. The way I feel about it is that like it's a team that will always play consistently, but you may never win. Like a tournament, you know what I mean? And honestly, in terms of the Pokemon circuit, that's all that really matters.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
That's all that really matters, because you just need to place well enough to get points every time.
In terms of the circuit, just not the Ultimate Championship.
In terms of the circuit, yeah, not the overall championship. With the overall championship, you play something else. Like, you play something that's going to make you win, right? You play something different.
Yeah. You play a higher risk-reward situation.
Yeah, that's what I would do in, like, World Championships compared to like, a regional. In the regionals, I'd play something safe. Which is why I'm considering playing Mew. Because I'm like, yeah, I could probably do okay enough. But yeah, let's keep going. Somebody else take 2 more Pokemon. I don't care which ones who takes what.
Yeah, because we completely forgot to discuss
this.
Yeah.
I'm going to take a Pokemon that I absolutely love and bred shiny and then made Gigantamax. Hello, Cinderace. It's running around with a Life Orb because, of course it is. Libero is the ability. I'm saying that specifically to spite Whimsicott, yes.
Ouch.
Oh, also, fun fact, in Gen 9 it got nerfed a little bit.
Oh, Libero, yeah.
Libero got nerfed. Yeah, it only procs once.
Triggers once per battle.
It doesn't. Once per the time the Pokemon is switched in, if that makes sense.
It's sent out.
Because you can like switch out and then reset it, but it's it's that way you just aren't playing like the roulette wheel of what type will it be this turn.
Wait, does Protean do the same thing as well?
Yeah, Protean also got nerfed.
Yeah, Protean also got cut.
Oh.
Well, not cut, but trimmed.
Oh, okay. Well, okay.
No, it's good. It's good. I appreciate it.
It is healthy and means that these Pokemon might not be banned to Ubers.
Okay, fair enough.
To be fair, they weren't in Gen 7. In Gen 7, and I don't, in Gen 7, Greninja came back, but
Gen 7 had Megas to compete with them. Like, that's the difference. When the floor of a Pokemon's general power crashed a little bit,
yes,
it got out of hand.
Yep.
Anyway, it's got an adamant nature with Pyro Ball as an attack because, clearly, Sucker Punch and Bounce, as well as High Jump Kick. It hits things really hard. It has Protean in its last glorious full-powered appearance. We've got I'm just going to take the Urshifu that's right next to it.
Absolutely. Urshifu is also a Pokemon that has seen an insane amount of play in Pokemon recently.
And this is the one that didn't get nerfed this generation.
No, it didn't get nerfed, yeah.
Urshifu Single Strike had 5 base power knocked off of...
It needed to.
What is it? Wicked Blow.
It was really bad. Like, Wicked Blow was really busted.
It needs to be... It's still probably too much, but that helps.
I mean...
It's something.
Yeah. However, this one is running with Surging Strikes, Close Combat, U-Turn, and Poison Jab, and has 4 HP, and then if you can't guess what this thing's spread is, with an Adamant Nature, I mean, it's 252 attack and speed, so...
Everything's just max attack, max speed, I think, on this list, because Ernie put it together for us.
This isn't a team you're supposed to use.
Yeah.
This is a best hits.
Yep.
It's all track 2 on the album.
Speaking of best hits and albums, we have the other Gigantamax starter, Rillaboom, because Intellion who? It's holding an Assault Vest. The ability is obviously Grassy Surge. It has, guess what? Max HP this time and max attack with 4 special defense, another Adamant Nature. And the moves are Fake Out, High Horsepower, Knockoff, and Grassy Glide. Rather obviously. And then, last but not least, the Pokemon of the episode, G-Max Grimmsnarl. It's holding Light Clay because it has Prankster and it's doing Grimmsnarl things. It has max HP, max special defense, 4 attack with a Careful Nature, and its moves are Light Screen, Reflect, Thunder Wave, and Spirit Break, which is very classic, but it works for this Pokemon.
Yep.
I do think that they learned from their mistakes of only having one broken starter. By having 3 very, very strong ones.
Yes.
Oh, in this gen? Yeah. I mean their typings are all very good too, which I really like.
Yeah, the hidden abilities on these things. We've got Unaware on the one that's chunky.
Mm-hmm.
We've got Protean, because that always works. And then we've got Moxie on something that can already ramp its speed.
Yeah, it's great. I love it.
Yep, they're all real good.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to be threats in whatever tier they land in.
Yes, I'm very excited for these starters that came out. It's going to be... Well, I mean, we're not going to have their hidden ability... Well, I guess we do now, because ability patch exists. So, yeah, oh my gosh, you just get them right away. I miss being able... or having to wait.
The other day, I was like, wait, I can use that Pokemon with its hidden ability already.
Now, right?
Oh.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty intense. I am very, very, very excited now that you mentioned that. Yeah, I really just wish we could play OU and Cart. Sad.
Yeah.
Battle animations are a little bit faster, so like maybe I don't know.
The catching animation is faster, which I appreciate.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I've gotten a lot more like quote unquote critical captures so far. So
I've gotten a few.
Yeah, I've got like I don't know how much more common it is, given that my dex is approaching 200 at this point.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
I still only have 9 badges, but I have...
Yeah, I'm only at 10, and I'm definitely at like close to... I'm around where you're at in terms of number.
I've just been catching everything. Yeah. It's to the point where I'm not battling anyone, any of the trainers, because if I do, I'm going to start overscaling everything.
Yeah. All right. Well, this is a good place to stop for Pokemon the episode. Of course, this team will go on to our Patreon if you want the shiny versions. We really appreciate the support over there that you guys give us. But without further ado, we're going to kick it on over to the mailbag.
It's mail time! Send in your emails!
Welcome to the Mailbag. The Mailbag is a part of the show where you send us emails. We read them on the show. Our email is puclpodcast@gmail.com, and you can always send them there. But of course, this episode is brought to you by the energy drink Green Tauros, the energy drink that gives you hooves.
Zunyas!
Hooves. What the? I assume that's that in Italian.
That wasn't Italian.
Spoilers, though. We're going to have to get new flavors of Green Tauros.
Yes. Code black and
code
red.
Black, code red.
Ooh, wait, I don't know about the red one yet. Ooh.
I think there's 3.
Oh?
There are 3.
What?
There's one everyone gets. There's one for Scarlet and there's one for Violet. None of them, they don't evolve or change into each other.
I think there's 3.
Oh.
Because I saw a water one.
There's 3.
What?
Yeah.
That's so exciting.
Yeah, this is very exciting. It's like they did this just for us.
Yeah.
All right, we've got one email today, though. I don't know where you guys have been. Next week, obviously, the question is, what do you think of Scarlet and Violet so far? Send those into puclpodcast@gmail.com.
The answer is that we're recording this Saturday morning. Most people got it sometime on Friday.
Yeah, and they hadn't had time to tell us, yes.
Yeah, and most people haven't fooled PayPal into thinking they live at the Astronomical Observatory in Sydney.
All right, well, this email is going to come to you from Stu. Hello, fearless Puckle host. I've just finished my first day with Pokemon Violet, and I wanted to share some of my thoughts. I figure most people want to talk about the bugs and problems, but I want to focus on the positives.
And we're right with you, sort of.
We're right with you. We're just really bad at it.
Yeah, we're just really, I mean, these games are really good. I really enjoy how much, I mean, there'll be a better review next week when we actually have played like a full week. And it's mostly going to be positives, obviously. And we'll be like, yeah, the frame rates could be a little bit better, but meh. I really enjoy how much area can be explored even just before the tutorial is done. That is something that Lynian hit on earlier. And I do absolutely agree with that. Like the fact that it took me like 2 hours just to get to the entrance of the school.
It took me like 5, I think. Either 3 or 5. I don't remember.
It took me about 3, but here's the thing. I went one direction, just kind of naturally following along the river, because I was like, oh, this will be a short jaunt.
Yeah.
Same.
I did not realize it would be as long as it was.
It was an entire map, and there was so much stuff to catch.
Yes.
Yeah, there was Wiglet, there was a flamingo!
Oh, yeah. I had to leave that area because I ran out of Pokeballs.
Ran out of Pokeballs.
You should have pre-ordered the double pack and gotten the 100
did,
Pokeballs.
but I hadn't. But you can't mystery gift yet at that point.
No, that's true. That's true. You're right.
So I couldn't input my code.
I also said to my boyfriend just kind of offhandedly, I was like, wow, they gave me like 20 Pokeballs, that's overkill. It was not.
Yeah.
It was not. So no, I didn't order a double pack, but they still gave me something for pre-ordering the digital version. I don't remember what.
Yeah, that's I did it as well.
I started following the river. He started following a cliff. Just both of us just going like, it'll be a short jaunt. He's like, I found Ralts, I found Igglybuff. I'm like, I found something I don't even know about, and some ruins, and some Ghoul coins, and it just kept happening.
Yeah.
Same.
No, there's a lot, but let me continue. I already had almost one full box of Pokemon before the end. Terra raid battles are also much more fun than Dynamax raid battles. Absolutely agree, actually. It's a much better mechanic. Because the shields were so frustrating, and they've definitely perfected the craft here.
Mm-hmm.
You haven't hit the equivalent?
Yeah, they do appear later.
Okay, I haven't hit the equivalent.
But they're not as bad.
Yeah, and they do tell you how to get around them, so...
Yeah.
And they're not hit button and nothing happens.
Yeah.
Yep.
So...
All right. Not knowing if Terra type before the battle makes it all the more thrilling.
But you do know the type before the battle.
You do,
though.
It's in the UI. It's the little icon there.
It's literally in the icon.
In the top right. Yeah.
Buddy.
I'm so sorry, Stu. Lastly, I want to talk about my favorite Pokemon from the first day, Flamigo.
Yes.
I knew when I saw Flamigo for the first time and its name, I was going to use one. I ended up catching one very early on and named it Takeoff after the Migo that was recently killed.
What?
What?
That needs to be explained.
I think the Migos, if I remember right, are a band.
Sure.
What?
I plan to catch 2 more of them and name them Quavo and Offset. That way I have a whole Flamigos group. So apparently you are correct.
Oh, okay.
And thank you for your time, Stu.
I love that his name is Stew, but Stew, like...
Yeah, like Stu, like the one you eat.
Yeah.
So I'm very curious about how this goes. I don't know. Like, I mean, there's so many good things about this game. The music is good. We didn't mention that earlier, but that was good. The
music is amazing.
Music is really good.
I haven't met music that I was like, meh. Because they actually like brought back homages from like the Sword and Shield music, but only the good ones. Like the gym battles are just straight up the Sword and Shield gym battle themes with like a slight twist on them.
But they feel better.
They feel better. They definitely do.
I hit the first gym for before Colden, and the last Pokemon came out, and then he very sarcastically started going,
yeah.
Well,
to the music, and then he stopped, and then he listened, and then heard that it was still going, and about fell over.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that clap they do is another thing that, it's an actual thing that they always do in soccer stadiums in Europe.
No, that's right. It's a soccer stadium thing, so I was just like, what's going on?
Yeah, but that specific rhythm, it's the specific rhythm that we actually do.
I know that. I understood the soccer theme in Sword and Shield, but I don't so much understand it in Scarlet and Violet.
Here's the cultural explanation. It's rad as hell.
No, I absolutely agree with you. I don't think it's bad.
But yes, Spain is very big into soccer.
Yeah, yes. Spain is extremely big into soccer, and it has some of the best teams in Europe. So why wouldn't the people in Spain cheer like they do in a soccer stadium? It's still one of the most followed sports in the country.
Let me explain how big soccer is in Spain. My dad almost got us kicked out of a taxi in Barcelona because he said something about Real Madrid.
checks out.
That's not a joke or an exaggeration.
Checks out. Absolutely checks out.
I believe this. Yes. All right. I don't have much else to say. We can just keep talking, or this could be the end of the show. And I think it's probably the latter.
Yeah.
unless you're on the
on the live stream today.
The stream, where we're gonna very much gush about the Pokemon we've put on our teams. Mm-mm. At least I am.
But yeah, this is gonna be the episode. So if you want to keep up with us throughout the week and hang out with us, first of all, be sure to just come to the Discord, puclpodcast.com. If you want to follow us on social media, we're on Twitter until it burns to the ground. We're currently on Facebook. One more week probably, right? We're on Facebook and we're also on Instagram. So you guys can check us out there. You can, of course, follow us over on... you can follow us on YouTube at youtube.com/PucklePodcast, at Twitch at twitch.tv/ThePucklePodcast. Both those places are where we're streaming live. We're figuring out which one we like better. I have a favorite, but I won't say it now. And we may eventually switch over to one over the other, depending on how things go.
And given that he said switch, you now know what it is.
Yeah! But yeah, if you want to catch up on these live streams that we've been doing, it's been a blast. Like, this has just been a very good week in terms of just community hangs, and I really appreciate it. I can't wait to do like tarot raid battles with people on stream. I can't wait to start doing that again, because these are just way healthier than doing anything else. Additionally, you can also help us out and support the show on Patreon at patreon.com/PucklePodcast. I guess until then, I have been Trainer Thatch.
I have been the fluffiest Whimsicott.
I have been and continue to be Lynian.
And here in the Lavender Town Radio Tower, it's closing time.
Closing time in Lavender Town. Time to say our goodbye.